Well, good evening. I'm Oral Gibbes, and welcome to Oral Gibbes Live, coming to you live here from World Star Studios at Amsterdam Shopping Center. And with me this evening, I promised you quite a while ago I'll have him back, and he's back. It's none other than Member of Parliament, MP Emmanuel. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, Oral Gibbes. I'm doing good. You told me I can call you Oral Gibbes.
Yeah, right.
Mr. Gibbes.
Call me Oral. It's all right.
Like so I'm doing good, Oral. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm good.
That's nice. You know, it's amazing because when I first started in radio St. Martin,
Right.
and I came back, I was a PGD to radio, and there was a gentleman by the name of Len Stein, and he said, Oral, he said, I don't like that name. He said, I'm going to call you OG for Oral Gibbes. And everybody started calling me OG.
And that's how it stuck.
It stuck there, you know. But anyway, it's good to have you in the program.
Yeah, thank you.
And you've been doing a lot. You've been very vocal member of Parliament, right?
Yes.
Try it. Are you satisfied with the way things are going? How do you look at government today? You'll have what, four months now in government?
5 months. Yeah.
5 months ago, yeah.
Am I satisfied? And you know, the political answer would be yes, that I'm satisfied. But no, I'm not satisfied enough because I still feel there's much more that can be done.
Yeah.
But am I satisfied now more than I was before? Yes, I am, because. You know, and I'm going to say this unequivocally with no water in my mouth whatsoever, so nobody can mince my words. Or this government is working. And this government is working extremely hard on things that have been just stagnant in this country. And there's a number of examples I can give. And one would say you shouldn't brag or you shouldn't pat yourself on the back, but I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it because this government got into office with a mandate that we have to work on electoral reform. We have to work on a number of things, given in mind that elections is in September. Let's take the famous, and I always say it all the time, kudos and big ups to the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance, SZV, and APS. The government building is getting done. Something that have been an eyesore because many people, we have talked about it year after year after year. And if you go there today or tomorrow, you're going to see the excavators moving, men up and down, getting work done. It was an ingenious idea between the Minister of Finance and the Prime Minister and SZV to really, really see it done. And the Prime Minister make it clear. Come June, he's moving in. He picking up his furnitures and he's moving in.
June or July?
June, July, whichever one it is. He say he's picking up his furnitures and he's moving in. We can't argue about that, Oral. It is a fact that it's being done.
It took long.
But let's bear in mind the consequence of it. It was 100 and something million guilders this country was indebted to SZV and APS. 100 and something million. So it's a debt that we have been building up and creating that not even your grandchildren would be able to pay off. Here walks in this government, sat down with institutions that belongs to St. Martin, worked out an agreement, worked out a deal that basically wiped off the debt. And you can call whatever nuance and use whatever semantics you want to use about it. It's done. And who got it done? This government got it done.
And I must add here, it's done not by foreign banks.
No.
It's done by
St. Martin institutions.
So it makes a big difference.
It makes a huge difference, Oral. And don't pat yourself. I patted myself. We got it done. And the people of St. Martin is going to feel proud about it, and they're going to feel good about it. Let's take Front Street. Look. And we can call it a temporary fix because the sewage needs to still go in, and Carnival is right around the corner. But I drove on the road the other day, and like I said, the road is on fleek because it's smooth. But we know the condition of how the road was.
And people were getting seasick on that road there.
We know the conditions the road was in.
Yeah.
What did this government do? We did make a decision that it's going to get done, and it's being done.
So now what's happening is they're just temporarily covering it. And then they'll go back and then reduce it.
Because given the circumstances of how the road is with the sand and stuff and the shifting and the moving, I believe listening to the Minister of Vrami, the Honorable Minister, Mr. Myers, he said that some of the sewage pipes are damaged, so they have to be repaired. But then you don't want to spoil the festivities of Carnival. So it was done in a way that Carnival can proceed, and then after that it's going to be repaired back over to.
You know, I spoke with some of your colleagues and I asked you the same question. When it comes to the garbage situation, what happened there, the transition period, the transition was quite rocky in a way.
Yeah. Let me be honest and tell you how it is, Frank. I have been very, very hard and critical on this government with this garbage situation. And I'm always on Facebook having a discussion with a number of individuals. And I told them, honestly speaking, I did not know much about it. I did not know much about it. But I told people, I said, listen, you have to give the individuals a chance and a time to get up to speed with it. But look at it today. It's not 100%, but it's much better than how it was 2-3 weeks ago.
Definitely improving.
Because now they're getting accustomed of the routes and the areas. And a while ago before the show started, someone called me and they was telling me about Canagita Street. You know, the garbage there and this, and I tell them I'm going to get on it right away. And that's what we did as a government. We put out the names, we put out the numbers, and each and every one of us, we have our WhatsApp chat, all of us, and we would look at areas and we would send the minister a message, say, Minister, this area. So we sort of looked out. Every one of us looked out for the country in terms of how the situation was, and we would update every one of us, or each other and the minister, and say, who's supposed to be in this area? What about this area? Get the hollows there, get this one there, and that's what we did. It was the transition period, yes. It didn't look good. It didn't smell good.
You know, I was speaking with someone the other day, and sometimes old habits are hard to break. But when you look at St. Martin, I think we have it a little too good. I'll tell you why. I can go every day and put my garbage out, and it shouldn't be like that.
No.
In other countries,
it's not like that on the French side.
Exactly. In some countries, it's 2 days a week or 3 days a week. So it creates such a burden on this island.
Listen, let me tell you this, Oral. Just today, members of Parliament, Sarah Westcott Williams, myself, Frank Richardson, Maurice Lake, and George Pantaflet, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, who was there, but I stand to be corrected on the names. We had a discussion with the steering committee on the waste to energy. We had a frank discussion because it's priority number one for this government. And we said, listen, tell us, Frank, throw the chips on the table and let us know what need to be done. Because at some point in time, we need to grow up and be mature and say, listen, it is unacceptable. It is unacceptable that we have our people, we have our country living in this condition every time the dump catch a fire. You must look into it within yourself and say, this is something that I'm not going to play politics with. I'm not going to do it. And that was my question to Junie Brown and also to Mr. Boncampa. I said, listen, government is telling you you have 3 months waste to energy. What would you do? And that was my question to them, because you want a frank answer. And you need to go, and why you want a frank answer, so you can go and reason with the people of St. Martin and say, this is what it is. Okay, but why? Why these things haven't been done before? Because it's always an interest for someone else. So you always get a government come in and a government go out, and a government come in and a government go out. And if one is not satisfied with the slice, for me to put it that way, then nothing gets done. But in the meantime, when the elephants fight, the grass is what suffers.
But I thought that I heard Member of Parliament Maurice Lake saying that when he was in office, everything was taken care of and ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah, and he repeats that over and over and over. He said when he was there, everything was ready to go. Everything was ready to go.
So, you know, the thing is, MP Emmanuel, is that the people of St. Martin, they're really tired with the garbage situation, especially the dump. I talk with the dump now and those fires. And I hope that the government can come to a real solution to that problem and manage it in a way that you'll always have those little fires because of the nature of the dump.
The methane and the gas.
Really, right. But getting it out in time, that's going to be very important.
But you know, Earl, we ourselves need to take some responsibility in this area. You realize we are probably one of the only Caribbean islands or one of the only countries in the world that is zero in terms of recycling.
Exactly.
We still throw everything in the same bin, and we need. And I'm saying it, and you're going to see these things coming out very soon, because we had the discussion today.
Educate the population, though.
Yes, we had the discussion today, and the experts were telling us, listen, there are companies right now are telling you, give me your bottles, give me your cardboard, give me your plastic, give me your paper. And some point in time, we need to be mature enough to say, listen, we are putting on the bins here. Bottles go in the green, plastic goes in the clear, cardboard goes in the brown, and we need to start to do it. It is simple and common sense, but it needs to be done, and we simply cannot continue like this.
That's why some states, what they're doing, they're saying, look, there's a 5 cents on every bottle. It encourages people to take the bottle and carry it back in. And if you don't have any incentive for people to get them moving, then they won't do anything. But how you feel about St. Martin in terms of the economy? Because a lot of people look at the island, they say, well, there haven't been a lot of growth in St. Martin, and you look at the information coming from the central bank and everything else, and then now we hear about Moody ratings, downgrading, etc. That don't sound good for St. Martin.
Not only personally do I know the Minister of Finance, but politically I'm getting, how should I say it, I'm getting to be friendly with him. And when you listen to the things that he's telling you, and consequently the meeting today was to bring the country of St. Martin up to speed with where we are as a country in terms of our investment, in terms of our economy. But unfortunately, there wasn't a quorum for the meeting. Some members of parliament did not sign in, so we couldn't have the meeting again. And hence is the reason why I advocate a development bank for St. Martin, because Oral, what you need in this country is the bringing back and the sprucing up of the middle class. The middle class in this society is eroding, and you're getting a disparity where you're getting the extremely wealthy section of St. Martin, and you're getting a section where you have the poor section of St. Martin. That middle class, where upholds is a foundation of your country, of your economy, is eroded. And why is that eroded? One word, opportunity. We are not giving enough opportunity to entrepreneurs in this country in terms of tax breaks, in terms of availability for loans, in terms of fair and equal manpower in the business. Because you have the competition out there that basically brings in whoever they want to bring in and don't really have to pay them anything. But when you open your business, Oral, you got to pay them. The tax man is behind you. After 2-3 months, you are getting a letter.
Right.
You got to worry about this, you got to worry about that. And if we continue on this trajectory, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. The economy needs an injection of investment in it to spruce it back up, and we are not seeing it. Why we are not seeing it? Because we are not stable as a government. Because you need a government that sits there for 4 years. And when you got instability in your country, what is the first thing to suffer? Your economy. Why? Because investors look at the country and say, listen, I can't go and invest my money in this country because it's not stable. And that's the simple fact of the matter.
The CMP, man, what you're saying is so true. And then what it boils down to is that those of us who are left here as local business people and have all our obligations, including the obligations to pay our taxes, and you tell the government, look, for 5 years, nothing is really happening.
Nothing.
So I really can't see any recovery. But the government don't understand that.
And it have been so for a number of years where the long arm of the tax man seems to only be directed in one direction, and many others get away. I didn't say it. The statistics came out and said compliance in St. Martin is 30%. Non-compliance is 70%. And look at our budget. So imagine if you get compliance at 40%. So in other words, you have 70% of businesses not paying their equal share of taxes.
But at the same time, last week I got 13 envelopes.
Yeah.
13
And more is going to come.
envelopes. Assessments for 3 years in a row. This is not good. It reflects bad on the government too. When you're sending your citizens 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, all in one envelope in one
I know
day.
a gentleman that has one eye. His niece and sister came to us in Parliament, to me in particular, where he is so traumatized right now. And they're talking about taxes from 2000. They send him assessments from 2000, 2001, 2002. And the pressure, he took it on. That the pressure went where he became blind in one eye. And not only that, he has been threatened that they're going to take his house and this. And I told him, I said, absolutely not.
But you see why?
Absolutely not.
See why, MP? Because when you're going to the receiver, the first thing they sit down, they say to you, the law. The law, the law, the law. When they tell you the law, I say, but hey, the law is a sledgehammer. Just crush me. You see, because we have to understand this. You can't have a government, and I'm not per se blaming this government or the government.
No, but it doesn't matter which government there is.
Where your citizens file their taxes, but the government failed to issue the assessments on time. So when you give that citizen 3-4 years right away, come on. You can't expect them to pay it all one time. So this is the reason why the people are angry. And this, it's like they're setting up the people to hate the government, because when people get these kind of things, the first thing they look at, this government sent me 13, 14.
But not only that, and then you hear that casinos owe 13 and 20 something million in taxes, and then AUC got away from 200 and something million in taxes, and he started to say, but wait a minute, but this is not fair, this is not right. So how did the same law didn't apply there or then, but it's applying here? So there's a number of issues, and again, like I said, this coalition and the members of Parliament are every Monday 8:30, the members of Parliament in the coalition and the ministers, we meet in the Legislative Hall and we trash out things. And I can tell you, the members of Parliament does get very, very hard and down on the ministers. Every Wednesday, you have the ministers giving their press briefing. Every Friday, you have the coalition members of Parliament meeting under the tree at Shika's. Why? We are talking
under the tree.
Under the tree. Let's call it under the tree at Shika's Bistro by the Cultural Center.
Oh, okay.
So if you come there on a Friday, 8:30, you're going to see us under the tree there having breakfast, but we are discussing issues.
Outside of everyone might show up there now.
Well, it's a setting where people can come and discuss. But what I'm saying, what you have here is a camaraderie. Or we had a year sitting where we couldn't get answers from our government, So the press briefing was suspended. The press secretary was non-existent. You didn't know what was going on in the country. Now you're getting answers. Now you're hearing issues. You may not like all that you hear, but at least the government is talking to you.
You can't please everybody all the time, right?
This is it.
So you're satisfied with the things that are going so far?
I'm not totally satisfied. No, I'm not gonna say that I'm satisfied, but I'm much more satisfied now than I was a year ago. But I'm not totally satisfied, because I keep saying to the government, we are crawling on certain issues that can be done right away, for example. And legislation is coming for this. Or what is our basket of goods really? What is it? To me, it's opaque and it's just up in the air. You would hear that a flour or the rice or the this. But I am saying that government need to set a tangible basket item of goods that you can walk into any grocery store, any shop in St. Martin with 25 guilders. And you know in that basket, you can get toilet paper, you can get bread, you can get cheese, you can get milk, you can get a 2-pound bag of flour to make some Johnny cake, you can get oil and water and sugar. Basic necessities that one need. Every other country in the world does it.
You think you can get that St. Martin there?
But what I'm saying, Parliament, and I keep saying this all the time, what does Parliament mean? Parliament is a derivative from a French word meaning parler. Parler meaning to talk. Hence, you get the word parliament. But it's also the legislative branch to make legislation, to make laws, amendments, proposal. So I am saying to my colleagues that we are part of the legislature. We have to legislate certain items, certain goods that can take care, or all everybody got to eat. Everybody got to eat. And a 25 kilo goes a long way. I can take, listen to me, Oral. Listen to me. I can take $15 and go to the northern side of the island and go into Super U and get those items that I just mentioned to you.
And you can't get them
I can't get them over here.
Right.
I can't get them over here. I can get bread, I can get cheese, I can get water, I can get toilet paper, I can get sugar, I can get butter and flour. With $13
But MP, man,
over there.
What's going on here? Because I was telling you before the show started about Guadeloupe and Martinique.
Yeah.
And some of those same supermarkets, not calling any names now, are also in St. Martin, most on the French side, but there's one on the Dutch side. And when you see the difference in price of just two chickens on the special for 13 euros and change, come here, 65 guilders. Come on. Same chicken. Same supermarket name.
But that's what I'm talking about. It is unfair, in my opinion, and it's out of touch if we as a government sit back and see this happening and do nothing about it. It is unfair. You can't tell me when you pass those little grocery stores in the morning and you see that little child asking for $1. And when you give him that $1, he run inside and he buy the 4 sweet bread buns and a Capri Sun. And you're saying to myself, but what goes on is to tell you the conditions that they're living.
But Abby, I gotta get this. When last you bought a baguette at the Dutch side?
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And then I was in Marigot the other day and I bought a double baguette.
Okay.
90 cents.
Okay.
A regular baguette.
Well, good at it coming from you, so they could call you, they could poke you up at it, and not me. But listen. But let's say it as it is. Come on, man, Oral. Come on. We must have some sort of empathy for people. I can go to Aruba. I can go to Aruba with 25 flooding, 25 guilders, and get those items.
Let me just, people, callers, please wait. We will let you know when you can call. We'll open up the lines in about 5 to 8 minutes, then you can call. So please bear with us as to give the MP a chance to really get his points across, all right? Yeah, so go ahead.
Yeah,
MP.
I can go to Curacao and get those items with 25 guilders because I've done it. I've done it.
And you know, MP,
Basic items.
do you know cost of labor on the French side higher than the Dutch side?
Listen to me. Listen to me. I spoke to the gentleman of Super U. The minimum wage on the French side, which is called the SMIC, is 1,300 euros, plus the social charges, the acidic. We don't have that over here, you know.
So why we charging more money for
We don't have
everything?
it. And that's the question. And that's why I'm saying that you must, and if it gets voted down, let it get voted down. Leave it get voted down. But I'm bringing that legislation.
But MP, aren't you concerned because when you speak like that, then you know the business community is gonna say, well, you know, boy, we're not gonna support that guy. Huh?
The business community is not going to support me in what?
No, because when you look at politics.
No. You're just sitting and support it, but they're going to support me in what?
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
When you look at politics, it takes money to run a campaign.
Tell you something. I'll tell you something, Ron. You want me to tell you?
Go ahead.
No
tell me.
business. None. In St. Martin, could say they give Christopher anything for a campaign. Not one. None.
So you're not going to worry with...
Not one. I don't go and ask nobody for nothing because I don't want nobody to come and tell me I owe them. No. I owe the people of St. Martin. And I told them in my last campaign, let me be your voice. Let me be your voice. And why should the business community of St. Martin feel that there's something wrong with that? Why? I don't see nothing wrong with that. Let me give you another example where I'm working on this legislation, and I spoke to Mr. Carty from SZV about it. The old age pension. Or there must be a concise date that pensioners can come and collect their pension. You see it every month. They come and they line up in the bank. Oh, nothing in there yet. Oh, nothing ain't reached there yet.
But that's where
and then they're outside sitting down. And then they're on the step and then the next day they come in, oh, ain't reached yet. All right, that is wrong. It is unfair. It is inhumane. And I spoke to Glenn about it. You must, and APS told me that they send the money on the 20th. The 20th, they would send their money to the bank. And when I had a discussion with a branch manager from the bank, okay, he said that they were instructed by SZV not to put on the money before the 31st because they used to spoil them before by putting the money on the 27th or even
their
before.
Money, what about spoiling?
I don't even want to entertain that ridiculous notion. But the responsibility, in my opinion, lies with Parliament. As members of Parliament, we get paid for sure. Today is what? I believe today is the
25th.
Today the 25th?
Yeah.
All of us have already been paid. All of us. What about the pensioners? Have their money reached already? And that's what I'm saying. If it's good for me, it should be good for them also. So we need to set that date. Whether it's the 25th, whether it's the 26th, whether it's the 27th, we need to set a date that the banks adhere to, that APS adhere to, that SZV adhere to. Under no circumstances should no pensioner come on that date and don't get their money. It should not be. And if they don't get their money, a fine should be levied to the bank, a fine should be levied to SZV, a fine should be levied to whichever responsible party.
So
but we are government.
What did they say? That they're going to comply?
I spoke to Glenn because there's also another issue that I told him it should not be, where some monies are taken out from the pension when they get it. And when I spoke to one of the managers of the bank, he said it's an administrative cost. So I spoke to Glenn and said, let us talk. He said, we're going to sit down and we're going to deal and discuss this issue. And I really, really appreciate him because he acknowledged the problem. And then he made mention, he said, well, the bank should be a good corporate citizen and just waiver those fees. I say, well, that will be a good discussion to bring in the Bankers Association and have a discussion with this. Like I mentioned, a 25 will go along with our pensioner.
Of course, and the banks could always write that off.
They could write it off. But I'm going to have a discussion with SZV, with Mr. Carty. He was very forthcoming about it, and he said, we're going to deal with it. These are the things that I'm talking about.
All right.
So you could don't like me as much as you want. I really don't care.
You're asking them for their money.
I ain't asking you for your money.
Okay.
And you could don't like me, right? But I don't want to see my grandmother. I wouldn't have wanted to see my grandmother standing up in that line, and then when she reached, oh, nothing ain't reached yet. Oh, nothing ain't there yet. No. A date must be set. So every pensioner know that I can go to the bank on the 26th, and my money is there.
There's so many things, and I said this to your colleague the other night. One of the big problems that young people have, professional young people, when I speak with them, they're worried about they can't afford to build a home, to buy a home. Yeah.
And, like I told you, we having a number of discussions. And it's one of the things that's high on the agenda of this government. Finding land and making it available to young people, young professionals. And I can tell you for a fact that the Minister of Rummy, Mr. Myers, also with Maurice Lake and the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister are working on a program concerning the property behind the Vineyard building, they are doing right now. They are doing their due diligence with it, and it will come on stream a while. I'm not really up to date, know much about it, but it's going to come on stream right now, where individuals will be able to acquire a piece of land.
All right, let's take a call for you. Oral Gibbs Live, you're on caller. Hello? Yeah, caller? Not there. All right, when you call, please hang on. Don't just hang up, because we just can't take your call right away. It takes some time, and then we take your call. Yeah, because, but yeah.
I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So in a way, you get a lot of young people very, very worried. You know, years ago, you go abroad, you study, you come back, and you go to work, and you don't have that kind of pressure. But no, I speak to a lot of young people, and
But let me say this also. There's only so much land to go around.
Exactly. Supply and demand.
Yeah, there's only so much land to go around. So we're going to really have to look into the matter of how it's going to be done and how the building is going to be done.
Right. Oral Gibbs Live and caller. Hello. You're on live, caller.
Hello,
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
All right, go right ahead, caller.
I want to know when is the next election?
When's the next election?
When you can vote.
It's a very, I like that caller. I really appreciate that caller.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, go ahead. The MP is answering you. You want to ask him another question, ma'am?
I didn't hear when is the next election.
Okay, let him.
All right. Well, as it is right now, the next election is slated for
I can't hear you. You seem to sound.
Okay, I'm saying as it is right now, the next election is.
And you want answering.
All right, good.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but I think the Prime Minister have mentioned it over and over that election is slated for September 26th of this year.
I guess people can't wait.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah, but it's but I think postulation date is going to be I can't remember, July, August, somewhere there.
Yeah.
So everything will be in full motion then.
Everything is already in full motion.
Really?
Everybody's already in campaign mode.
Wow. Let me take a call for you. Oral Gibbs Live, will call. Hello.
Yeah, good night.
Good night.
Gibbs, listen.
Can you do me a favor, please? Do me a favor. Turn your TV off, please. Please turn your TV off, because I'm getting an echo back from you.
Okay.
Turn it down first. Turn it off completely. Then we can go ahead. Let me know when you're ready. You got it down?
Yeah.
All right. Thank
you. Hear me now?
Yes. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah. I just want to say that your guest that's speaking right now, he's talking about all these things that government doing and whatnot, or they intend to do in the future. Now, on Bush Road, there's a lot of garbage on the road. Okay? There's nobody going and pick up this garbage. When the previous party were there, garbage was clean. Midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, they used to clean up the garbage, or whenever time. Now, there's nobody come in and check the garbage. I mean, that makes me sick, because I have a family member who is sick, and certain things they can't smell, they can't, you know what I mean, take into the
Caller, where on Bush Road?
Know why these people are not coming for the garbage, and then they're talking, oh, they have things that they're going to do, or they have certain personnel that are going to take care of that. That's just a lie. That's a lie. And if he's sitting there in front of you and he's a liar, everything that he's saying.
But caller, come on. You gotta. No, wait. You can't get to that stage. Please respect.
But what did I lie about? Where on Bush Road?
I don't think that's appropriate language to use. So let us not get there.
Okay. Well,
all
it's
right?
appropriate. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But I'm just saying that.
Okay. Where on Bush Road?
Along the road, and it's not being taken care of.
Where on Bush Road, my friend?
He's asking you where. He's asking where. He's asking where on Bush Road.
Where on Bush Road?
Man, you go down from by where Texaco used to be now is what, Eco gas station.
Yeah.
And you come way up all the way by the traffic light. You know what I mean? You go down Front Street, back street.
No, but you said Bush Road.
you have to have your private people could come and take up the garbage, but still.
But I didn't see the garbage there.
There's so many garbage there. I mean, come on, man.
Come on.
Wait, sir.
He just said Bush Road. I passed Bush Road earlier.
Okay, so let's clarify that. You saying you saw this today? Are you talking about?
All the time.
No.
Come on. Have you ever went in the carnival village and you see the garbage bin that they have there?
Oh, man.
I mean, come on, man. We ain't going nowhere. We had it, even though it's a new party.
That is not a fair assessment.
You know, at least they should let these people that were there before continue with what they're doing.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
all right,
Because
okay.
everything would have been different.
Okay, all right. Anyway.
You know what I mean? But no, it's not. It's not. And it's sickening for everybody.
Okay, let me thanks for calling, sir. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know.
I can't react to it because first I asked the caller where in Bush Road, and then he said Front Street and Back Street and then Dutch Quarter and then Carnival Village. I passed there today, back and forth twice, and I haven't seen no garbage on Bush Road or in Phillipsburg. I haven't seen it. But if you tell me a location where there's garbage right now not being picked up, I'm going to see to it that it's picked up.
And that's why I asked him if it's today or maybe some previous days.
I don't know.
Yeah. Let me take another call for you, MP. Oral Gibbes live and caller. Hello. You're on live, caller. They're getting scared.
I shouldn't get scared. Get scared.
No, but I think when you look at the island today, you know, we live on this island and we don't realize the significance of this island to the region, right? But let me just take this call for you and you're on live, caller. Hello.
Hello, good night.
Good night, sir. Go ahead. Your question, comment for the MP.
Mr. Emmanuel.
Yes.
Is it right for the Director of Public Works to dismiss a civil servant who worked for over 29 years? She's suffering from a mental and a psychological problem. Should never get a warning letter. Could you please look into that?
You listen, I have two numbers, 584-3882, 523-7348. Call me after the program.
Okay. Caller?
Yeah.
You got that? You got that?
You got both numbers?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I'm not familiar with what he's talking about.
All right. Thank you, sir. Okay.
All right.
They're gonna call for you, MP. Oral Gibbes. Yeah. So at least he'll call in. You can get fill in on that. Yeah. We don't realize how important a role this little island plays in it. Oral Gibbes live and caller. Hello.
Yeah. Good evening, Oral.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
And good evening, Christopher.
Good evening, brother.
Listen, don't feel no way that guy. That guy probably had an old broken down truck and he lost his contract. So he's just knocking all over the place. He's an idiot.
Well, thank you very much for the call. But I mean, I would take everybody concerns. But I mean, he started out with I'm a liar, I'm a this.
No, that was terrible. That's out of place. You can tell this guy don't know what he's saying. I drive around too, and I see the place improve a whole lot.
Yeah.
So I think this guy's an idiot. He's out of place.
But please don't call him an idiot. It can make the man feel really bad. You know what I mean? So,
but I did start it out saying that the place was in a mess.
Yeah.
And we had to give them some time and look at the difference today. I did start it out saying that. Right. But what I'm saying, if there's a district or an area, or right now you are seeing an area or somewhere where garbage hasn't been picked up, let me know.
Give a specific location.
Give me a specific location and we're going to get it done.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's the where I live in, the bin is cleaned every day. Every day they take out the bin. I've never seen a problem since July.
And the minister stated it. The minister put out the phone numbers in the newspaper. Call them.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do. I would call and say, listen, I just passed this area and I saw it yesterday and it's the same today. This bin is not being picked up.
And I think what has happened is that I know Meadowland used to handle where I used to live, where I live, and they did a great job. Had no complaint. People didn't have no problem with that. What had happened, and every Friday there was a truck coming through the neighborhood and picking up all the other garbage that you couldn't take to the bin. And I got an email from one of the members of the community council, and they're saying, look, don't put out any garbage now until we get this problem rectified in the area where the truck comes around. So people are doing that.
Yeah.
Oral Gibbs Live and caller. Hello. You there, caller? Hello? Not there. All right. So I think the whole thing about it is that it's improving a lot, but I think in people's mind, some people have it as a political thing, and it's not necessary at all. Oral Gibbs Live and caller. Hello. You're on live, caller. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, you're on live, caller. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
And you guess
Good night.
parliamentarian Christopher Columbus.
Good night, Doc.
Parliamentarian Christopher Emmanuel.
Columbus. Good night, Doc.
I must admit the fact here, understand me clearly, that Godfrey Richardson was very effective. Now, concerning the bidding and so forth, I don't know what happened, but he really was effective in jacket. However, mention is being made about the government doing its best. I can agree with that. Efforts are being made. But the best must be indeed the very best. And the very best starts especially with the people. Up front, it's all well to get the new administration building in action. Yes, but the people, by this I mean there are pensioners on a meager amount of money. Cost of living is increasing all the while. Nothing tangible is being done for the people. To make mention of the middle class, there is no more middle class. The middle class is wiped out. What we have now is the miserable poor and the happy.
So what's his question?
So Doc,
That is not good.
yeah.
Something has to be done right away.
The MP want to know what specific question you have for him.
Well, by that I mean, which I said, doing the best is not enough. Parliamentarians must do their very best. I just don't mean him alone.
Okay.
I already said to the Minister of Finance when he was on your show
Yeah.
that taxing the pensioners is a wrong thing. We already have we have done and helped build this country, and I said this already. Suitcases, like
Okay.
how you say how you call it, bags and what have been passing through this place with you know what money, and now we must put it in.
Okay. Let me.
It's wrong.
Okay. All right. Let me have.
The next thing is with it, waits too long to pay
Yeah.
persons that had to take their money for whatever reason and go to the French side and spend their money. And it's with it, waits too long to pay such persons. That is wrong also. Because when money can be given to persons to go Colombia, Santo Domingo,
Okay.
and all about the place. Not that persons don't deserve being helped, but just help on the French side.
Okay, let me have the MP respond to you, Mr. Lake.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Very well.
Thank you much for calling, sir. Thank you.
Well, it was a lot of different issues and topics that he talked about, but he's always consistent when it comes to the pension of the elderly. And earlier I made mention of what I think, what I have seen happen in terms of the pension. And like I said, I spoke to Glenn Carty about it.
Right.
And we're going to deal with this issue when it comes to the monies of the pensioners receiving it on time and receiving the amount that they supposed to receive. It is something that I am really, really and seriously working on right now.
He also mentioned the part where if you go and you pay for medical attention and you're supposed to get a refund, it's not done in a timely manner. Maybe that's something.
But that's another issue I can bring up also
Right.
with management of SZV. And listen, that's what we are there for. Again, bring the issues. Bring the issues, and I would take them where they have to go and question it and ask about it. And it's not a matter of doing your best or not being good enough. It is simply doing what you have to do.
With MP, Mr. Emmanuel, he's my guest, taking your calls at 54-221-7054, 221-70. And it's amazing because I was saying to one of the other colleagues too that a lot of things was going so well, and then the Gibbes situation came up, and that became.
I'm not making no excuses for the Gibbes situation or how it was. I said it in the beginning.
Yeah.
But to how it was in the beginning to now, it's a drastic improvement,
Yeah.
and it was just a matter of giving them time.
All right. Oral Gibbes Live and caller. Hello, there, caller.
Hello, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
What about the income tax return for 2013
Yes.
and 2014?
Yes.
I called the tax department and they said they're understaffed. There is no refund up to today.
Refund? You're entitled to a refund, ma'am?
No, but she's absolutely correct. I heard it already. And we spoke to the Minister of Finance about it. And the Minister of Finance, I can tell the caller, the Minister of Finance is working with the tax department to get them out. I know that for sure.
So
because it came to us about it. Yeah.
What she's asking about is the refund for 2013, 2014?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. And even the tax returns, yeah. It came to us about it.
I'm a little confused because last week I got my assessments up until 2014. Remember I said earlier I got all 2011, 2012, 2013.
They have been very late. They have been very late.
Yeah. So they're not late with me. I wonder why.
You were Gibbes. They know where to find you.
Yeah, I know. I know. That's why I told her, come down, bring down the sledgehammer on me because I can't pay it all on time. And that's the problem we got on the island, MP, and where government has to instruct civil servants that they have to follow the law, but at the same time be very understandable because, this is where the conflict comes. And I'm telling you something, election is in September, but between now and September, I got all of mine, but believe me, a lot of other people are going to get it and they ain't going to be happy.
Yeah, and I can tell you, I remember when this issue came up first with the minister raising taxes. We went into the minister on Monday, and trust you me, we were all over the minister. And come to find out, the minister didn't say that at all. He didn't mention nothing about raising taxes.
Yeah, I remember
and like I said, it's a bit unfair to put that on the minister when the minister himself came in talking about cutting taxes.
He corrected it and everything.
And he corrected it and everything, So it's totally unfair. The minister is not raising taxes nowhere, no how, on nothing, and on no one.
I was shocked because I was saying to myself, I can't believe that coming from him. It's impossible. The man understands this other more than anyone else.
Yes.
Did a remarkable job.
You remember when the minister came in, you remember they was going to raise the number plate road tax issues by 18%?
Yeah.
The minister said, absolutely not. it went down. They was going to cut the vacation pay or the vacation. That did not happen. So and that's why they said this minister was a cut minister, because everything he was cutting. At one point in time, ministries couldn't get nothing more than $10,000.
You balance the budget, right?
And the budget was balanced.
It's approved by CFT now?
Yes, it is.
So.
Not only that, but we have a surplus of $20 million in the budget that goes to paying off our debt. That goes to paying off the debt. So, I mean, why would now the minister come when he was cutting everything because of what had to be done and the austerity measures to now talk about raising taxes? You'll have to be insane coming up to an election to talk about raising taxes on people. Nobody wants to hear that.
But I tell you something,
it's not true. It's absolutely not true.
I'm glad that's clarified, because a lot of people were worried.
Yes, and it's unfortunate that that's the way it came about. Because I remember when I heard it the first time, I said, but this minister lost his mind. That's what I said. And then having a discussion with the minister, we found out really what happened. And it absolutely was not true.
All right, let me take a call for you, MP. Oral Gibbs Live and call. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'd like to mention something to hello?
Yes.
Go ahead, ma'am. Make it quick. We're almost out of time.
Sorry. Yes, people can't get their driver's license and the ID because they said they ran out of stuff. Okay, good night.
Okay, all right. Then let me have the good thing about this is that the Prime Minister also is the leader of the political party that I'm part of, and I have his number on dial. So, and he being the minister responsible for general affairs, I can get back to that caller on this issue, but I haven't heard anything about it.
Everything wasn't clear. She said people can't get their
ID card and their driver's license because they have run out of stock.
Oh,
so probably the things
that
would make
happens
them.
off and on these days.
Yeah, but it shouldn't happen.
I mean, I had to get my driver's license, and I had to wait like a month.
Yeah, but it shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
It shouldn't. Yeah. Those things happen, but it shouldn't happen. That's what I'm saying.
But it's
going to be fixed.
It's been happening so often now that we come to expect it as normal.
Yeah, but it shouldn't happen, or
I agree.
We should. That's like accepting mediocrity. We should not accept those sort of things. So I commend the caller for talking and speaking up about it.
And they should also have redundancy. They should have backup.
Yeah.
So if one piece of equipment is down, you have another one. Not that you have to wait for someone to come to
let me tell you something. And seeing that we are coming on to the ending, let me tell you something. We should not be as hard as we are on our own country, Oral. We are 6 years old. 6 years old. And remember, we are building a country from scratch. We came out of the Netherlands Antilles constellation, where all the apparatus, all the infrastructure, all the expertise remained in Curacao. I remember we had immigration officers here working for a year and 2 years, still operating on their student salary. We built the Ministry of Finance from the ground. Member of Parliament appointed a new minister under his guidance. The minister came in, and he have done an excellent job, the Minister of Justice, signing off the slide for these youngsters. It is a country that we are building. Yes, we're going to have hiccups. And like I said, the most important thing is stability in government. You need a government that is stable to get things done.
All right.
And this government is on the right track of doing that.
Now, we only have 30 seconds remaining, so else you want to add in closing?
Yeah, but like what I just said, we shouldn't be so hard. And I can understand the frustrations, because I have been very critical of past government. But I've always said it. At the end of the day, we are building a country. We are building a country, and it's not an easy task.
All right.
It's not an easy task.
Well, MP Emmanuel, thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for much success, all right?
For sure.
All right, and that's it for now. I'll see you next time right here on Oral Gibbs Live. Until then, good night. Take care. Bye.